All right, so here's the explanation on what we were going to ask you to do today. So you're going to work this worksheet that has been posted for you on Classroom. And the goal here is to work within these idea of this programming language, right? We said yesterday that we have a language, which is a fixed set of commands that we can use in order to tell the computer how to act, what to do, how to work, right? So we've given you a set of commands that we are going to be limited to. And you only have this finite set of commands that we're going to have to use in order to work with the cards and do something, right? They've listed them here, but I'm going to jump down to page 3 of this document and give you another resource, right? So page 3 of this document is a description of all of the commands that are available for you in this human machine code, we'll call it, and what all the vocabulary here means, all right? So the first command you have is called shift, and here's a description of what shift does. Shift takes the whatever hand you name and moves it one position to the left or the right, depending on how you indicate it. All right, so here's an example. Shift LH to the R. Okay, your options here. Here are your options. RH means right hand, LH means left hand. Okay, and if you see an R here, that means move to the right, and if you see an L here, move to the left. Okay, so we can plug in these values, right hand, left, RH, LH, R, and L, into here and get it to do different things. So if we said shift the left hand to the right, or shift the right hand to the left, or any other combination you can think of. The next command we have is the move position. So shift just wants to move you one position in a direction. The move will actually move it move it to a position in the list or move it to a position in the list. So here, move the right hand to position 4. So we won't do it one at a time. We're going to skip right from position 1 all the way to position 4, right? The other thing I just want to point out here is that these values here, right? If you look here, they say move LH to position RH POS. RHPOS means wherever the right hand is in the list, the position the right hand is in the list, we're going to move the left hand to that position. So they're both pointing at the same card, right? So if you see LH card or LH position or right RH position, you're moving to wherever the left or the right hand is, its position in the list. And I'll show you that in a second. LH card or right RH card has to do with the value of the card it's holding, right? So if the left hand is touching a 5, LH card means 5. Okay, so these are some of the different properties you can kind of plug into these different commands. So here, this means move the left hand to wherever the right hand is. Okay. We now have this idea called jump to line, where we're going to work a set of commands and now we can jump to a different line. So we can jump back up in the list, we can jump down the list. So just jump wherever you are working with, then jump back to wherever the line is and do what it says there. Okay. And then finally, and this may sound a little bit familiar to what we did in spreadsheets, but here we have jump to a line if and a comparison statement. I think that should sound familiar from spreadsheets, right? So here they give you jump to line 4 if the left-hand card equals 7. Jump to line 2 if the left-hand card is less than the right-hand card. And here are the values you can use in here. Right? You can use equals, not equals, less than, greater than. Those are the values you're allowed to use in these comparison statements. Jump to line 7 if the right-hand position is greater than 9. Okay? So you have just a flat jump to, and then you have a jump to if a condition is true. Right, so if that's true. And again, they give you a little bit of explanation right here, so you can read that on your own too. And then finally, you have a command here called stop. Stop, when it hits stop, that's when the program ends. That's when you're finished, and it really will probably be on the last line of all of these examples. Okay, so what I like you to do is I want you to see, can you work these examples and try to identify what's going to happen, right? Can you summarize for us, what does this program do? right? If I did all of these commands, what would happen? Okay. Some things to know about this, and a lot of this is explained here. You can assume, if you want, you can assume that every card setup you work with is the same. So you can actually use this diagram if you want to just follow all these commands. Right? So you just go ahead and use the setup. If you want to deal out some cards for yourself, if you have cards, that's great too. But you don't have to do a different one every time. You can just assume the same one all the time. And you can always assume that your left hand starts at 0 and your right hand starts on position 1. If you notice here, everything is labeled, right? So all of your positions in the list are labeled. Position 0, position 1, position 2, position 3. Okay. And then we have the actual value of the card, the 4, the 9, the 5, the 2, the 7. All right. So I would like you to work these directions and try to tell me what would happen. Okay. Something you should know is that anytime your computer wants to do any of this programming, it always wants to start at line 1 and work its way down the list in order until it finds a stop command. Right? So its natural inclination is going to want to start at 1 and work its way down all the way until it finds a stop. Okay? If at any point you have one of those jump to lines, right? It wants to, so in the second example, it's going to want to jump to line 1. So when it gets here, it wants to go back up to line 1 and do whatever it says there. So if there was a jump to command in the middle of this long list here, it would get to the jump to command and then want to jump to that line, do that line, and continue its way down the list, right? So it always wants to try to get down to step 7 or get down to the stop. So work, 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 work. Oh, it wants me to jump back up, and then continue back down again. All right. So the natural flow of the program wants to start at the top and work its way all the way to the bottom of the list of directions. Okay. So I will put another copy of this, and you can actually type right in here. You can put your thoughts right into the middle of this if you want. It's trying to explain what exactly is it that this program is trying to do. What's the result? Okay, and they ask you some other random questions here. All right. So everything I've just described is laid out kind of up here in the directions. Okay. So what I wanted to say it out loud. So you can follow the directions on page 1. All your work's going to get done on page 2. And then this is a reference guide as far as what the heck does all this stuff mean? What does all this code, what do all the different notations mean on page 3? Okay, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop a private comment in on Classroom, and I'll be happy to answer you.